So unless you've been living under a rock, if you're a K-pop fan, you are probably aware of the fact that Baekhyun from EXO and Taeyeon from Girls' Generation are confirmed to be dating. Now, I've been around in K-pop for a couple of years, not as long as some people have been around for like their whole lives or whatever, but at least a good 3. And so far, my favourite part of being in a K-pop fandom is watching people fucking explode whenever 2 adults confirm themselves to be in a grown-up relationship with each other. So I've seen quite a lot of things so far. The first one that I'm going to be pointing out is people reacting by thinking it's a giant conspiracy theory. Something that people are running with quite quickly at the moment is the idea that SM confirmed the rumour so quickly based on other idols' comebacks and them wanting to steal attention. So some people are running with Beast, others are thinking GOT7, and some are thinking Taeyeon because Taeyeon's from YG and YG's at the top of the charts, so SM want to steal the attention. This is so ridiculous on about 50,000 different levels. At the rate that SM were going, if they were to confirm a new relationship every single time that another artist who wasn't theirs that was popular made a comeback, they would quickly get to the point where they would be confirming the dating rumours of SM rookies. Next minute, they're going to get to the point where the 10-year-old Mark kid and the other one who was in the video with Tiffany, who was probably 10 herself, are going to be confirmed on a playdate. Another more plausible idea is that SM confirmed the scandal to take attention away from the fact that Baekhyun was caught underage drinking at some beer place or whatever the picture is that's going around at the moment. Rumours are saying that it's him, some are saying that it's not. SM apparently confirmed it, but I don't know. It's been buried because of the dating scandal. The time the pictures were taken were before Baekhyun was even a trainee and was thinking about his image. So if you think that Baekhyun is the only male teenager in the history of South Korea to drink when he was 1 year underage with friends in a social situation where there are other people drinking with him too, then you are deluded as fuck. I'm not saying it excuses underage drinking, but there's also the thought to consider that rather than blaming Baekhyun himself, wouldn't you also blame the person who served him the alcohol in the first place? There's also the theory that SM want to bring attention back to their own label, given that they're now about to compete and go head-to-head again with YG when they both have their family concerts on the same date, either this month or next month. So by raising SM's attention at the same time that YG are having success on the charts, it brings their name back into focus. Pretty sure that people who like YG artists are going to go to the YG family concert and people who like SM are going to go to the SM concert. I don't see why a dating scandal would be needed to bring attention to an SM concert when they're marketing to SM fans and not YG fans. And doing nothing to help the reputation of being one of the world's most aggressive and shit fandoms, EXO stans are now running around on Taeyeon's Instagram saying shit and calling her a slut for dating their precious oppa. Newsflash! Taeyeon is a woman in her 20s. Baekhyun is a man in his 20s. Probably the best quote that I've actually seen on forums, Instagrams, Twitters, Tumblrs, all sorts of things at the moment is something that Baekhyun said pretty early into his debut about not dating until he turned 35 because he wanted to keep the image or whatever. If you were dumb enough to think that a male would stay single until he was 35 years of age to please teenagers, then you deserve to be disappointed and heartbroken because it's your own fucking fault for believing that in the first place. The other thing is, like, would you really want your bias to be a 35-year-old virgin? I love the shit out of Sungyeol, and because I am such a huge fan of his, I hope he is getting laid. The idea of my ultimate bias being 35 and still jerking off into socks, I don't see how that would make me a good fan. A few people I've also seen have been relating this back to L's scandal, similar to how he posted about his relationship on Twitter and then pretended it was tweets to his fans, so the fans got upset because it was really to his girlfriend. However, unlike the L scandal, Taeyeon and Baekhyun quickly confirmed the fact that they were in a relationship and didn't really bury it or try to pretend that they were super innocent and that it was everybody else's fault but theirs. I do concede that some Taeyeon fans would have a point considering her Instagram caption is like for Taeyeon fans by Taeyeon or whatever, but I'm pretty sure that's hardly the first English mistake that she's ever made. Not to speak badly of Taeyeon because she's actually like my bias in SNSD equal with Yuna, but she's not exactly the member best known for her English speaking capabilities. Just because she says her Instagram is for Taeyeon fans doesn't necessarily mean it can't be for herself. But the thing that's also giving me the absolute shits in this situation, like every other part of it, is Compare Western teen idols dating to, say, the K-pop ones. Dating bands are probably a video on their own, especially with how stupid they even are in the first place. The reason dating bands exist for K-pop idols as opposed to Western artists is K-pop has the language barrier. A Western artist can appeal to more fans because English is a globally spoken language. So if they can appeal to people in their home country of America, they can also appeal to London, they can also appeal to Australia, they can also appeal to countries where English isn't the first language but is typically still taught in schools. Korean artists don't necessarily have that global appeal, although K-pop is growing to being Hallyu and whatever. But they have a smaller target market. So in order to compensate for the lack of people that they can reach, they try and build closer relationships to fans through the idea that they love their fans and they love their fans, as opposed to being grateful for them supporting their music. Their idols, as anybody would probably know, are typically marketed as being ideal boyfriends and girlfriends. Newsflash, Oppa doesn't love you. Oppa just wants your money. So to compare this as well, the thing is a K-pop idol in terms of global popularity is probably about as big as what a Disney Channel star would be. They have similar concepts of being innocent and pure, and they're also marketed towards a teenage market. Lesser known Disney Channel star names who are up and coming along the lines of Olivia Holt or Dove Cameron wouldn't have global recognition, but would probably have the same level of popularity on a worldwide scale that an established Korean artist might. However, when Dove Cameron comes out dating her co-star from her TV show Liv and Maddie, fans are really happy for her. You go on her Instagram and there's a lot of supportive messages. She's freely able to tweet pictures of her kissing her boyfriend and hugging, and no one really cares no one cares in the negative way. They're all really supportive. From a global perspective, when a Western artist shares their relationship on Twitter, it makes them closer to their fans because it makes them more human. They date like normal humans. They have relationships with other people, and the fact that they have relationships makes them more appealing, I guess. However, with K-pop, it's the complete opposite. If they have a relationship and they're open about it, God forbid, they're torn apart as if they're a freaking pariah for having normal human feelings and not just being a basic robot who stands around and says, I only love you, I only love the fans. That's not to say idols don't actually appreciate their fans. They're grateful for you for buying an album. They're grateful for you for supporting the dreams they've had since they were children, and they're grateful for fans who watch over them and support their careers. But in the real world, do you honestly think an idol would appreciate being told how to live their lives by a pre-teen girl behind a computer screen who doesn't even speak the same language as him, who has no realistic chance of ever getting together? Just because you buy an album of your favorite artist does not entitle you to decide how they live their lives, who they date, and what they do. Outside of the recording studio, their stage performances, music video shootings, concerts, and their daily hectic schedules where they dedicate nearly 22 hours a day anyway to being an idol, they should be able to be free to spend what little time of their own that they do have the way that they want to. But beyond the comments on Instagrams, the Tumblr posts, the conspiracy theories about YG, GOT7 or Beast, and any of the other reactions to this dating scandal in the first place, I feel like we're all missing the most important part of this. And that is that Lee Sung-yeol now knows what it feels like to be fan-zoned by his ultimate bias. That's what you get for not replying to my tweets.